It's a Delta X5, I think. So anybody see one of these? When we bought that wood stave silo, January 1st, New Year's Day, I bought it. I kept thinking, how are we gonna fix up those boards so we can paint them? And they're so oxidized, so weather beaten, and they've had coats of paint and everything. So I was shopping for a belt sander, some sort of belt sander, and then this came up, I think 2 nights ago, and the guy was asking a really reasonable price. So I contacted him right away. I think I was like 20 minutes after it was posted on Kijiji, my favorite place to shop. Doesn't need any work except for one little thing. I'm gonna hammer that out, straighten it, and then put it back in. If it breaks, I'll put a new pin in there. Very similar to a planer. It's actually the same thing as a planer, except for instead of knives, you've got this drum sander here. It's an aluminum drum, and the sandpaper wraps around. You clamp it in on the end here, just a little like a clothespin type of. You just take your thumb and squeeze that, and it 31-255X. I don't know much about it. I've never used one of these, but it looks very similar to a planer, except for there is this drive motor here, which is it's got the variable speed control right here. I think that's what this control is for. I thought at first this controls the big drum in here, but I don't think so. I think it probably speeds up and slows this down. And then on top of that, he had a bandsaw. It's a CII. That's a Craftex. I hope you guys can hear me. The rain's bouncing off the tin roof. So I believe this WA14M King sell the same bandsaw. It's a metal wood cutting bandsaw. I think there's millions of these made. And there's other models. There's probably a whole bunch of manufacturers sell this model. They're all the same model. So one little catch with this. The guy I bought it from, Dennis, he said that his son was using it and he pushed too hard on some wood and broke. This is what holds the wheel in there. So I'll take this cover off. I looked at it last night and I thought, I think I can fix that. Look at that. 1993. Okay, right in there is where this piece goes. I just lost one of the little metal pins. Fell out earlier too. Where did it go? Hit the ground, I guess. Okay, so anyway, that goes up in here, and that's what gives you your adjustment for the band saw blade to run in the center of your wheel. So there's the screw for adjusting it, and I think I could easily fix that. So right here you got this aluminum block. I think that's aluminum. I'm gonna pull that out of there and then machine these pieces right off, these two pivot points, and then I think I can slip a piece of steel in there, drill some holes, tap them, drill them, tap them, and have a couple of bolts hold that in place there and there. Shouldn't affect how it works. There's room, and then I'll have a working bandsaw again. And I think this one will be way better than that General. Just flexes too much. For this was $20. There's a little update. I haven't made too many videos in the last couple of months, but I've been doing boring stuff. I cut a bunch of trees, dead trees that were over the driveway and could possibly hit my wires and knock the power out. We had a tree hit the wires last fall and knocked out the power again. And then I just cut one yesterday. I gotta clean that all up. I was doing painting and really boring stuff. Door trim, baseboards, what else? I fixed the mailbox. Yeah, we had a school bus turn around in my driveway and backed right out and totally destroyed the mailbox. So I think that's the 5th time. I've had the snowplow hit it a couple of times. Moving truck took it out about 5 years ago. and school bus now. So it's about the 5th or 6th time I've installed a mailbox. And the ground was frozen, so I couldn't do it. It happened around the 15th, 20th of February. I just installed it 2 weeks ago, so middle of March. It was a month with no mail. So that's all done. This sander is bought for it's right there. I bought this specifically for the silo, and if I don't need it afterwards, I think it's going to go back up for sale. But the wood on that, I can't run it through the planer. There's lots of little nails and dirt and grit and you name it. So you can't hit nails with this sander either, but I think what I'll do is take the grinder and take a punch and a hammer and knock the nails into the wood. And I just want to resurface the wood so we can actually stain it. It's 100 years old, and it's just got weather beaten. 100 years. Yeah, the sun was out the last 3 days, so I was busy doing stuff outside, and that's why I cut that tree down, because we're supposed to get 4 days of rain. And then I'm burning brush with my new I made a new thing for burning brush. I'll show you that. All right, today's project. We're almost. I wouldn't say we're almost done, but we're well into it. So I took an old oil tank that I was working at a place where they had a couple of these, and I asked if I could have one, and the guy said sure, take it. So got it for free, which is my favorite price. Cut it in two this morning, and now I'm in the process of bolting together. I'm not going to weld it together because I may at one point decide to use half, so I can always unbolt it. I'm going to have probably 5 bolts across there, 5/16 little I got these 1-inch bolts and some washers, and I'm gonna weld some hooks on the end with a tongue, not hooks on one end, a tongue on the other end, so I can tow it with the tractor and I can back it into spots, and it's just gonna drag on the ground. No wheels, nothing. I was gonna actually put some pipe underneath and bend the ends up like skis, and my son said, you know, I just drag it like it is, and he's absolutely right. So I took his advice, and that's what we're gonna do. I got all my holes drilled. I'm in the process of putting the bolts in, but I want to grind these things off before I bolt it together, because I can flip it up and easily work on it right now. Then a thing to burn branches, because I got 10,000 dead trees here, and it worked really well with the old evaporator last year. I just want to be able to hook a chain to it and tow it around and start using it. I'm going to throw some branches in and burn it. I'm kind of making D-rings out of those metal rods. So I just made this. I bent it in the vise. I'm not looking to win any beauty awards with this. And then I'm going to put it in here and weld that on there. It's welded on. It's still smoking there. I think this half is done. I got these 2 bracket things cut off. I might take the grinder and grind some of those sharp edges, so you don't cut yourself on that stuff. And I went over this little edge here, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to spend any more time than I have to on this. It's a spot to tow from and grab it, put a chain on, and lift. I gotta lift this. Probably use the backhoe and lift it up and dump it out. So I could probably hook a chain on this, hold it up, 10 feet in the air, and dump the ashes out where our burn area is. There goes the chief inspector with a load of wood. That is the new and improved redneck fire pit. That works fantastic. That's better than the old way of doing it, and less likely to get a call from the fire department. So, burnt one heck of a pile of brush here this morning, and only in about an hour. Yeah. Okay. Off to the next pile. We just got the chain hooked to the tractor. I'm going to pull it all the way up the driveway and throw all the branches from it. All the dead trees. I think there's about 8 piles of branches. Just throw them on. Thanks for watching.